This is Logan Johns reporting right outside of Crampton Auditorium, where there is an event hosted by Nikole Hannah-Jones called the Truth Over Power Summit. Let's take a look. This is Logan Johns.
At a critical moment in time for democracy in America, Pulitzer Prize winning journalist Nikole Hannah-Jones brought together some of the most nation's sharpest political minds for a conversation that cut through the noise. In this deep dive on this conversation, we actually get a deep dive as to how Joy Reid actually got fired from her job and what it means for Black journalists to stand up more than ever in today's American society.
I've never been given a reason why I was fired. I have had my exit interview. I had a very brief phone call from the new president of MSNBC, but even in that call, I was never told why I was being fired. So I cannot say what that is. Of course, there's been a lot of speculation. And I knew that when I was doing the show, that there were a few high wires that our show was walking. One of them, of course, was the war in Gaza.
The panel not only featured individuals like Joy Reid herself, but panelists like Heather Cox Richardson, who was a professor at Boston College, Robert Keegan, the former columnist for the Washington Post, and last but not least, Mariel Gaza, who is the former editorials editor for the Los Angeles Times. Robert Keegan talked about the importance of the Washington Post and what they're doing is good work and why journalists need to be more brave than ever in this democracy that is held by the Trump administration.
I don't think we're in a constitutional crisis. I think we're several steps into autocracy right now. We are living in a quasi-autocracy which is in the process of consolidating itself. So I don't want to take any hope from the fact that the Post has actually been, many of the people on the Post have been quite courageous, but it is the fact of the power that is being wielded by this executive, by this president, that is making, I wish they had courage, I wish they resisted, but it's hardly surprising to watch businessmen looking out for the bottom line.
Much after the program, we were able to get man-on-the-street interviews by journalists who were able to actually talk about the importance of Black people in democracy and Black people in journalism.
I would say do what you can from where you are with what you have. In fact, I end every episode of my show, More Perfect Union on KBLA, saying exactly that because I believe that, we believe that, whether you have a job working for a legacy outlet, or you have your social media feeds, or you have a Substack, whatever it is, don't be shy about getting out stories that matter to you, stories that are grounded in leadership and genius and humanity, and dare I say Black leadership, Black genius, Black humanity. We don't see enough of it, and it's on us to make it so.
I was able to hear from software engineer Nate McCoy and student at Howard University Cameron Clark and talk to them about this year's event and why this event was actually refreshing to hear what democracy can do for you.
So tonight's event was really inspiring for me as a political science major. It's something I work very closely with. Democracy is journalism, and journalism is democracy. So it's something that is very close-knit, and it was very refreshing to be around like-minded people who work at a higher level and who are actually doing the work behind democracy and journalism tonight. So it was very refreshing to hear those thoughts.
Well, to be honest, my wife runs the Center for Journalism and Democracy. Her name is Dr. Kali Yasset Amen. So I came to support her, but I'm very interested in the role of democracy in the world, of journalism in the world, and that in the United States with all the disinformation and the things that are going on with the government and the erosion of democracy. So it was inspiring to hear what they said today on stage and actually motivating to think about some things I could do in my own life to make a change.
In a time of deep polarization, this panel reminded us that complexity doesn't have to mean confusion and that history can be a compass and not a weight.
Logan Johns, Washington, D.C.